Okay. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. Friday night Knicks, and you had a potential first round battle between the Knicks and the Bucks in Milwaukee tonight. No Dame, and the Knicks severely shorthanded, but it was no problem for the New York Knicks, man. After an early 6-2 deficit, the Knicks came out and handled their business, led by the dog. OG Anunoby remains hot, 31 points, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, and poor Tyler Green, he was dog food tonight. Shout out to the dog for coming through. We had a new point guard tonight. We got to talk about the Delon Wright game and how Knicks Nation was up in arms as Tyler, the creator, hit the bench, but still had himself a good game. So all in all, it was a good night by the squad. It was a full squad victory. Knicks get the win 116-107 and sweep the season series against the Milwaukee Bucks. And all the Knicks fans crying first round exit. Not against this team, but let's talk about it, man. Call us up on the KFTV Discord. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Subscribe to the channel, CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. Let's get into it. All right, man. How you feeling, man? I saw you got your chalice, your Friday night chalice. And, I had to match that energy, man. Cheers, bro.
Cheers,
Salud,
cheers,
man.
cheers.
Salud,
nice
salud,
Friday
man.
night,
Nice
right?
Friday night, man. With a victory, all is right in the world again. Knicks get back into their winning ways. But hey, man, there was a lot of storylines in this game, but I got to start with the dog. I got to give the dog his props, man. He's remained hot. 31 points in this one. 10 of 10 from the field, 9 of 21 from I said 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 9 of 21 from the field. He's staying hot, man. His last 10 games, 21 points, 45% shooting from the field, and damn near 40 from three. What do you think about OG's performance tonight, man?
I was talking to George from KnicksFanTV, from Knicks Verse.
Yeah, shout out to George. Shout out to George.
Almost KnicksFanTV.
Yeah.
Knicks Verse.
Yeah.
And I was talking to George throughout this game. And late there in the fourth, when he hit that dagger, jump shot, I said, George, forget the numbers. Is it me, or has OG played with more moxie? Is OG playing with a little bit more emotion? Am I seeing a player that's just, it's funny. Sometimes there's certain players like Luka, and sometimes we see it in Josh Hart, where we say, stop complaining to the refs. Stop arguing too much. Stop talking too much while you're playing. Focus on the game. Yet with OG, we're seeing him begin to really go at the refs and make his play for calls and just talking a little more on the court. He's playing with more attitude. He's looking at his opponents after plays as if he's doing a little mini taunt. I see him, arguing more calls, getting upset at defensive plays, just being more emotional, playing with more desire, playing with more intent on offense and on defense. And to me, above everything, CP, sometimes a player like him with his profile, a little quiet, a little shy, sometimes you wonder if the player is coasting throughout games. Sometimes you wonder what you're going to get out of that player in big moments in the playoffs versus a Jason Tatum and a Jaylen Brown. We need a player with that type of personality, and he's been developing that in the absence of Jaylen Brown. So to me, CP,
Brunson, yeah.
His will as a player that is more aggressive has been the biggest takeaway for me. And if you're a Knicks fan, you have to be encouraged, because if he can transfer this to the playoffs, we're gonna have a very, very fun and interesting playoffs here pretty soon.
No question about it. And all we could do right now is knock on wood, pray, do whatever you got to do. Make sure this guy stays healthy, man, because this is the guy we saw last year in the playoffs. A guy who was more than just, a 3-and-D guy and just standing in the corner and playing great defense. Now he's doing everything. And he had that mismatch on Tyler Green, and he's going to these guys like, yo, go to me. And he's abusing this kid the entire night. Taking all 10 for 10 from the free throw line. He had 10 free throw attempts. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you that the coordination was on point tonight. Yeah, he still hit the deck a couple of times, but the coordination was on point. He's finishing at the basket, and because he only hit like only three of the 9 shots were threes. So he's getting to the basket a lot more, finishing through contact. As you said, the demeanor has changed. He's playing much more swagged out, and it just goes to show you how, like, you just can't call it with these injuries, because last time we talked, this was during the Philly game, and he looked atrocious, moving, and we're like, yo, this guy, he's not in good spirits. He's not good. My cousins from Toronto texted me like, yo, OG looks terrible. They got to shut him down. And everybody's like, yo, shut him down. And now he's looking like regular season energy. So you just can't call it, man. But great game from him tonight.
And he looks more healthy now. Like, he looks healthier. You talked about the free throws tonight, man. Him and Mikal Bridges as well. We'll talk about Mikal, but with a 7-footer like Brook Lopez, I was actually pretty impressed about the attack attitude of continuing to just attack the rim, attack the basket, as you mentioned, even on some plays where it looked uncoordinated, but still the desire to just continue to be aggressive is definitely a positive. And when you see a player doing that time and time again, disregarding that you have a shot blocker on the opposing side, it tells me that, forget the scouting report, the player mentally has a certain drive and game plan to where he just feels he cannot be denied. And again, I continue to say, you're going to need that type of drive and that type of attitude going into the playoffs. And the other thing, CP, is OG's on pace, man, to have a career high in games, in minutes. So let's see how, Tom Thibodeau manages these players as we hit the home stretch. But he's on pace. A guy that we gave $200 million, a guy that has given us heart attacks. And yet you look here, you have 10 games, whatever it's left. And this guy is on pace to give us, on the first year of a big contract, a career high in minutes and career high in games played. Pretty impressive, man. Got
to give credit to him. Give credit to the coaching staff, the medical team. That they were able to poach Casey Smith from the Mavericks. And I had Tim McMahon on the show earlier this week, and he talked about how the Mavericks completely discarded this guy. It was a clash with Nico Harrison, and the Knicks couldn't wait to bring him aboard. And hey, the Knicks have been one of the healthiest teams in the league. Is it a coincidence? Is it his regimen and getting these guys ready? Hard to say, but as you said, the dog is having career highs, and the foot injury, knock on wood, nothing that's lasting too long, but he looks great tonight. And his offense was much needed tonight, especially in the second half, and I think he must have had 17, 19 points in the fourth quarter. Something like
20,
that? 20.
Which is a career high for him of any quarter of his career.
There you go.
25 points, 25 or more points in 3 straight games. That's a career high. And 20 points in the fourth quarter is a career high for him of any quarter of his career.
Yeah, so great job, because in the second half, Knicks came out cold. They were really good in the first half, came out in the second half. They missed their first 9 threes. Mikal Bridges, who we'll talk about, who had a great first half, wasn't as impactful in the second half. So OG's offense, especially in that fourth quarter, was much needed to keep things at bay when the Bucks were trying to make their run and make their charge. So overall, great night by the dog. Second game ball, I got to go with Mikal Bridges. He opened up the game very well for the Knicks. And it's, James Edwards was on the show today, and we talked about matchup-wise in the playoffs, who would be the most difficult between these Midwest teams, between the Bucks and the Pistons and the Pacers. And their regular season matchup for the Knicks, it just bodes well. When you have Brook Lopez out there, who's a player that Doc Rivers has to play. It's not like they, when Portis comes back, we'll see what happens. But when Lopez is out there, it's a green light. Just like how Cat gets abused in the drops, Lopez gets abused in the drops, and Tibbs went right at him. Put McCall in there, get McCall going downhill, and McCall abused him. Mid-range jumpers, baseline jumpers. He was attacking the basket. This is the aggressive Mikal Bridges that you want to see if the Knicks want any chance at doing something good in this playoffs.
And Mikal again, him and OG, as I mentioned earlier, the most impressive thing to me about Mikal is his will to attack and get to the basket. And it's so interesting because he finished around the rim. He got clean looks. And therefore, although he was aggressive, you look at the fact that he had no free throw attempts, but still went 12 of 24, 50%, and got 26 points. So it was interesting in that he was getting to the rim, but he didn't get many free throws because by the time he got to the rim, he had clean looks. There was no contact to be had to get to the rim with Mikal. So tonight, man, 50%, being aggressive, also gave you 5 assists. And I also liked how, in the Delon Wright minutes, right, you saw a little bit more of Mikal focus within the offense. I was interested to see how would Tom Thibodeau counter his interesting decision to start Delon Wright tonight at point guard, me being more that he's a defensive oriented guard. And I thought, and I was hoping that we would see more Mikal aggressiveness off that lineup decision. And that's definitely what we saw. It worked out for Tibbs, the move. It was a lot of, Knicks Twitter is analyzing everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And,
they was ready to send him with Taylor Jenkins. You go sit down with Taylor Jenkins. They was ready. They felt like they had the green light tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So when you saw that announcement off the Taylor Jenkins decision, the naysayers had a lot to say about that. But yet again, it's so funny how the move actually worked.
Yeah.
And I thought forget about even more of Delon's performance. I thought more of what is the coach going to do off the action of making that decision. And we saw it early with Mikal being aggressive, and that was the right move. And Mikal Bridges definitely rewarded the head coach for that emphasis on him offensively.
Yeah, Mikal was definitely aggressive tonight. You love to see it. And as you said, with Delon Wright out there, he kind of had to make sure that you didn't just leave him out there on an island. Somebody else had to make sure that they stepped up because your guy, Karl Anthony Towns, with his 2 boneheaded fouls, he was no good to this team early. So, it is what it is. But I'm just like, bro.
He definitely got you tight early. I saw you tweeting already.
It's like, bro, you can see it a mile away. Like, you're watching him, you're like, the refs are going to call it, and they call it. But either way, he made up for it in the second half. I thought he was a lot better in the second half when he was actually out there playing minutes. So he did what he had to do. But for Mikal Bridges, 26 points, 12 of 24 from the fields, 5 assists, 2 steals. So he continues to shoot the ball in an efficient way. So in his last 10, he's at 21 points per game, 55.9% from the field, and 38% from downtown. So just good at scoring output there from Mikal Bridges. Now, let's get into it, man. So the next storyline, let's talk about it. Delon Wright got the start tonight over Tyler Kolek, and it worked out well.
They were ready to can the coach.
Oh, they were ready to can him. They were ready to send him packing.
Can we Taylor Jenkins him?
Yeah, they were ready to send him packing, but you know what? Hey, good job by him. I thought he scrapped. He took the advantage of his opportunity, knocked down a couple of threes, got the offense going a little bit, made some plays. Delon Wright finishes with 12 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, efficient night, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. Hey, we'll see what happens on Sunday, but for tonight, he was good. He was solid.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting night because he got started, hot in the first quarter with 10 points of his night, all in the first. And, I I hope you never know. It's so interesting with Tom Thibodeau because it's like you're willing to start him, but then you won't play him any other night. But then you're willing to start him over the backup who's next in line. So that's the whole interesting thing. But then you look at tonight, it's like you're trying to catch lightning in the bottle too because it's his former team.
Yeah.
And although he didn't get much playing time, and although a lot of fans could look at it and say, "Oh, Delon Wright, who like it's not like Damian Lillard going back to Portland. It's not Yes, but every professional player is a competitor. Every professional player, no matter what they tell the media, it could be the last player on the bench or the first All-Star. They all want to play well, even if they're playing against a team on a 10-day contract. Like you just always want to show out as best as you can, because especially players of his stature at this point of his career, they're trying to stay in the league.
Stay on. He's trying to stay on.
You know, Tom Thibodeau's thinking, listen, this is a guy with a profile that's a gritty player, a defensive player. We're on the road. He has no pressure. He's going to be excited. Let me catch lightning in the bottle. And he rewarded him with 10 points. He was -7 in the second half. He didn't play as well. He's 0 of 2 in the second half. I thought he went to him a little too long there in the third. He played most of the third. You saw the team starting to come back. I felt Kolek should have played a little bit early in the third. But all in all, solid performance by him. You saw some of his defensive prowess, deflecting passes in the paint. So you saw some of that profile there.
Deflected an alley early.
Exactly. And you know, his size at 6'5", was definitely an advantage, especially, you know, closing down the lanes for Giannis and some of the other Milwaukee Bucks perimeter players. So let's see if this is now a continuation with, you know, see what the status is with campaign. But overall, solid night by Delon Wright.
I thought he was good. Let's see what happens on Sunday. You know, for some reason, and you know, listen, everybody's in KnicksFanTV and all of that. They're gonna say I cover for the coach and all of that. I didn't see anything wrong.
You do.
And I didn't see anything wrong with playing him last in the Clipper game. I didn't see anything wrong with that. You lost campaign. He was obviously gonna play tonight with no Deuce. So for everyone that's saying play the bench, develop the bench, get him some burn. Let's see what's going on with him. You know what I mean? They hadn't, like you said, you hadn't seen him the entire time since the trade deadline, since he got traded here. Let's see what he can do, because he's going to be logging, whether it's starting or off the bench, he's going to be logging minutes with Brunson, Deuce, and now campaign out. So I had no issues with that. I had no issues with him starting because I think a message was sent to Tyler after the Clipper game, and I'll talk about that when we get into Tyler's minutes. So I had no issue with that. On top of that, he's 6'5". He can defend at the very least, which is a weakness of this team. I had no problem with that, because my thing is, when we're going into the playoffs, 7 spots are taken care of if everybody's at full strength. Deuce and Mitch are coming off the bench. That 8th spot between Payne, Shamet, maybe it's Precious depending on the matchup, or even Wright, because I'm not sure Tyler's going to get in the playoff run. We need somebody to emerge here. Some sort of consistency. And we got to be playing defense. Most importantly, we got to get stops. Because the best way that this team, especially when you move into the second round, and I'm not saying he's going to be any type of savior, but you got to try to get some stops, man. Turn the ball over and get this team out in transition and get easier buckets. So I got to see who's going to emerge here as that potential 8th guy if he goes 8 on the bench. So I have no issues with his minutes, bro.
Well, whose minutes? Right?
Right. I have no issues with the minutes, man. We're doing tryouts right now. It's tryout time, man. We know Tyler's a future. Like his opportunity's gonna come. We know his opportunity's gonna come. He's the future. I need to know who's gonna get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting because they're both such different players. I mean, you see it when Wright is in the game. He doesn't run the offense per se.
No, he doesn't run it.
Right, like they're going through towns, they're going through bridges, and it's just a different offense. When it's Tyler, even him being a rookie, it's like the team trusts him to make the correct decision.
Yeah.
And I think it's just about when you bring Tyler in, how does he play in that first initial punch of minutes? And how does the offense react to him coming into the game? Right? Like, because defensively, it's going to be a challenge, especially his rookie year. So if he's coming in and his initial impact is positive offensively, listen, you give and you take. But for example, tonight, when he was in the game, bro, they were getting any shot they wanted. From a Josh Hart cut to the paint, from a corner three to OG, from an elbow three to Mikal Bridges, the hockey assist. I mean, they were getting anything they wanted on offense when Kolek was in the game. So it was more of a comfortable offense, more of a fluid offense with him. But yet, when he's playing like a Clippers matchup and you playing a James Harden, you playing these isolation players that are going to attack you, then now as a head coach, you got to be ready to counter in your rotations. Tonight, the matchups, because of the offense of the Clippers don't have these one-on-one attacking players. You didn't see him get exposed as much in the action defensively, so you were able to play him more. So I think that it's more of a personnel thing moving forward. But I will say, when he comes in the game, if the offense is flowing, I am willing to sacrifice a few defensive possessions if offensively the offense and my main players, Mikal Bridges is getting confidence, if OG is gaining confidence, if my main offensive players are getting good looks, I would be willing to sacrifice some of that defense just because in a 48-minute game, if you're getting your main players on point, that is going to be key in the last 5 minutes of the ball game because those players are going to be in rhythm. So it's more of a feel for the game here for the head coach between Delon Wright and Tyler Kolek moving forward.
In the Clipper game, when he came out, and again, everybody was in an uproar because I didn't think he didn't have a bad game. I thought the coach was sending him a message. You know, development isn't always about just on court. And yes, he should have been playing a lot earlier this season to get experience. I wholeheartedly agree. You know, I can only watch a campaign, slingshot go off, but so much before I get tired of it. So I've been looking for Tyler all year. However, I saw where the coach was sending him a message against the Clippers where it was like, you going up against dogs, can't be playing like a puppy out here. And what I mean by that is, second half of that game when he gets in the starting lineup, he's deferring. He gets across half court. Okay, dump it down to Towns. Dump it. What'd you see here tonight? How many paint touches did he get here tonight? How many times was he attacking the basket? You got to be aggressive. We know he can play make with his eyes closed, but you got to be his threat to score as well, man, because he can. And what do you know? He knocked down his first three today. Got a layup. Got some paint touches, some driving kicks, and still, you know what I mean? Like, this was the most aggressive game that he played. And that's why I said on Twitter tonight, like, that benching was sending him a message. You got to be more aggressive out there.
And, tonight you look at the numbers and you see he had what he had tonight, 5 assists.
5 assists.
And yet you can go back a few games back where he had 8 or 9 or whatever he did, and you can say that tonight he was actually more effective even though he didn't have the assist numbers because he had a ton of hockey assists. He got OG in that third quarter to start the third. How about that sequence back to back to back with OG? First, it was that snap corner pass. Got OG that corner three. Boom. Second possession was that pass to OG under the basket.
Yep.
OG got a dunk. Third possession was that pass to OG. OG got fouled. Now you got your player at the free throw line for 2 free throws. Back to back to back. That's not 3 assists in that sequence, but that is, impact. And so, listen, man, he it's gonna be interesting. He's a rookie. It is what it is. But, those are the things when you see him play that are gonna get the fan base wanting to see more of him. And here's the other thing I will say. I am of the belief that Deuce McBride has not had his best season. He's had a solid season, but he's had these kind of bumps in the road, setbacks here and there. I think injuries is a big part of it. But from a play style, I don't think him and Payne has been the best fit.
No way.
I think him and Kolek, him and Brunson has been more of a benefit to Deuce's game than Campaign and Deuce. So I think Deuce has had a tougher adjustment trying to take the next step in his development, but doing it alongside a Campaign who hasn't been really looking to get him going as much, more than himself. And so that's where Kolek is an asset to you. Unfortunately, we haven't seen it that much. And that's why when you make the point of he should have been playing earlier this season, that's where I would have loved to seen it, because I think Deuce would have been a big benefit of a Tyler Kolek next to him.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. CP and JD on the ones and twos. Knicks get the win, 116-107. Shout out to, we did have a $20 super chat that came in here. Shout out to Sam Van Art. He says the dog is in a flow. I love to see it. Keep it up, boys. Shout out to Sam. And he just gifted somebody a franchise channel membership. So let's see who that recipient was. Shout out to Isaiah Knows Hoops. He just joined the franchise channel membership. So welcome to Isaiah. Okay, so as you know, look, going rapid fire across some of the other role player contributors. Hey, Landry Shamet hit some shots tonight. 13 points, 5 of 8 from downtown, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown. Did a good job attacking closeouts. He had a couple of mid-range. He was snapping the nets tonight. I thought he looked good. Mitch, I thought you had to expect a better effort from Mitch tonight after the dud against the Clippers. 10 rebounds, 4 on the offensive side. It was a better Mitchell Robinson performance. And I also thought Josh Hart had a great game tonight, man. 13 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, a block. This was your Josh Hart type of game, but especially when the game started to bog down a bit in the third quarter, his rebounding, his toughness, his grit kind of helped keep things at bay for the Knicks. Still there? Did we lose him? Yep. Is he in the Matrix?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Josh Hart. Am I?
Yeah.
Am I in the Matrix?
No. You good.
All right. Because I thought I was good. Josh Hart with a nice bounce back game. He's had an interesting, last couple of games, a little bit up and down in my opinion. And I just think tonight was it was a good matchup for him, but at the same time, again, with Brook Lopez on the paint, you never know. Josh Hart tends to sometimes struggle with rim protection and having 7-foot centers at the rim. And the Bucks had no match for him, him in terms of his aggressiveness, attacking to the rim. And so Josh Hart had a very, very good game. It's just going to be interesting with him moving forward in the playoffs. I think everything is just going to be matchup based. And you start to see as you head to the playoffs and you look at the standings and you look at who could be your potential matchups, it's all going to be about matchups with Josh Hart, because you're going to have more of the higher IQ teams that have athleticism, that have rim protection, that could potentially neutralize him. And you saw in last year's playoffs, CP, I think with Josh Hart is going to continue to be, what is his confidence taking the open shot?
Yep.
That's what it's going to come down to. As he ends the season, I think it's more about him just getting in rhythm, building his confidence. But when you saw it with Brunson in the podcast, I think Brunson had that message for him in the Roommates podcast. I think Brunson psychologically understands where we're heading here, understands how important this player is, and understands, bro, when we had you the way we had you against versus the Sixers, we were hard to beat. And if we can get that type of Josh Hart where, okay, you didn't shoot too good, but the playoffs start and Josh Hart, the confident Josh Hart gets activated, we're going to be harder to beat in the playoffs. So I think for Josh Hart, it's just about when the playoffs begin, it's going to be a matchup situation. I think the head coach is going to have to identify that and not be afraid to switch up your rotations if he's not effective. But for his sake, he has to build his confidence as an open shot shooter.
No question about it, man. 37% in the playoffs last year. He was a vital piece of the puzzle. And hey, the Knicks were one Josh Hart injury away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. It all just kind of fell apart like that. So they need him. Shout out to RGT85, JD Franchise Channel member, $10 super chat, says eating that freshly slayed venison tonight. Shout out to RGT. RGT, did you go hunting yourself? Did you chop it down with a crossbow? Was it a rifle? Talk to us, man. Were you out there hunting? What do you think, man? You ever had venison, bro?
Nah.
Yeah, I had it one time before. Kind of tastes like steak.
I've had frituras. You've had frituras before?
Nah, what's that?
You never been to Dykeman, man? You never eat some of that truck Spanish food?
I mean, not late night. I mean, I go for the spirits.
I go for the spirits with the cheese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's frituras, man. I need to take you up there. you just want to talk about a story all the time. We got to get you moving around the city.
I changed my ways, man. I changed my ways, man. That was another chapter in the book, another life. You know what I'm saying? That was another life. All right, let's get to the phones here. What the people got to say. We got to get to the stadium report. My guy, the Knowledgist, was in the building, and they made it on MSG, man. The Knowledgist checking in from Milwaukee. How you feeling, man?
All right, man. How you doing?
Good. You still on the road?
I'm on the road about 94 east, going about 80 miles an hour. The speed limit here is 70, which is really nice.
That's right. Be safe for the road, man. How was the vibes in the building tonight? Fiserv.
Oh, it was good, man. It was good. I was saying, since Deuce wasn't there, it was kind of hard to get a full understanding of how many Knicks fans were there because the Deuce chants couldn't be out.
That's right. It's hard to measure, right?
Yeah, but there was a healthy crowd. It was a good atmosphere, I would say. They threw out a lot of damn T-shirts, I'll tell you that much.
Nice.
We didn't catch any. That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool. We were maybe 5 or 6 rows behind the bench. And there was one play at the end where Towns, he got his last foul. Yeah, I think he put a block on Giannis. It was clear to me, at least, that he did not foul him. And Towns turned around. Somehow he looked me dead in the eyes. And I gave the challenge signal, and he looked at me like, "Yeah, I know, right? It's a challenge signal." He didn't challenge it, but it's fine. They won anyway. Overall, I think the team played well. It was a solid team effort. It wasn't a very beautiful, pretty game, but I felt like everyone really kind of chipped in and played their part. You obviously talked about just about everybody already. Yeah, it was great.
Nice. And yeah, I mean, how did Towns look after the injury, man? He looked like he banged his left knee, and then when I see him come back out, I was like, all right, so I guess he's good. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was weird. I saw the play where he got hurt, and it was very clear he was favoring it. And when he got back on defense, maybe a couple possessions later, or even a few after that, it was quite clear that he had to make a rotation, and you could see in his face he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to get there in time. This knee is not really doing so hot." So I was very surprised to see him come back in the second. Maybe they injected him with something in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah.
But yeah, always concerned about guys' knees. That's a rough one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And then you also made it on the MSG telecast after the timeout, man.
I did. So yeah, my wife's friend, she had told her, "Hey, keep an eye out because you might be on TV," because we watch the games on MSG all the time, and they have that. When you're coming back from commercial, they just show a couple fans while they're talking about whatever. Yeah. And my wife's friend said she just screamed very loudly.
Nice.
Got photos to prove it, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I got the DM. I saw you guys because when I was watching live, and I'm showing the Knowledgist and his wife here. This is from the MSG telecast. When I was watching, I saw you guys. And then she sent me the picture. I said, "Oh wow, that's crazy." And then I didn't even put the 2 and 2 connection that was you on the Discord.
Yeah, man. That's always great. Thanks for everything. Overall, it's a good game, and appreciate y'all. To get back to driving.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Be safe on the road. Good to hear from you. The Knowledgist with the stadium report. Shout out to the Knowledgist checking in, man. Salute to him, man. Yeah, I got the picture up here. This is the Knowledgist and his lady from the game. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to everybody who calls in with the stadium report. Very valuable calls and information. Okay, let's get to the Knicks Fix. The Knicks Fix. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
CPJD, what up, guys?
Good, man. How you doing, man?
So two things about tonight,
Yep.
and then one hot take, right?
Yeah,
I
sure,
got for you
sure.
guys.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing I gotta say is Delon Wright. I think he should play over campaign, man. I think I
Mm.
think I think what I saw from this kid tonight was we finally had somebody on the point of attack where Mikhail was able to play on the wings by himself. So that was something that I kept an eye on. You know, like JD touched on, like he was able to get his hands on balls, pause like in the lane. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. He looked like I'm like, damn, we had this guy just buried on the bench, man.
Yeah.
Um, that's one thing. And then the second thing is, yo, if OG can play like this, the Knicks are like, because now you got like a I wouldn't even say a second fiddle. I'd probably say I wouldn't say third. He's probably second, like because over Cat offensively right now, the way he's playing, man. So now you got a three-headed monster. But the thing is, man, every time he go to the lane, tell me you guys don't see this. It feels like he's dribbling with like jeans and mittens on, man. As soon as soon as that kid went down, what's the guy's name? The kid from the Bucks, Green. He was on
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
I saw that, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, OG gonna do some goofy stuff and try to
I
jump over this
yeah,
kid. Watch.
I had a feeling he was just gonna like fall over the kid and like hurt himself again. Yeah, it's always an adventure, man. He's a cardiac Nick for a reason, man.
I'm like, yo, just pull up or
Yeah.
just anyway.
He's a perfect
then-
Nick, man. He's getting paid. He's injury prone, and you know, and he takes you on a wild ride every game. He's made for it, man. He's made for
and
it.
then this is the hot take I got for you guys. It might get some tomatoes in the chat, but whatever. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna say it,
Uh-oh.
I think the Knicks gonna make the Eastern Conference Final.
There we
But-
go.
But not through the way that you guys think, right?
Yeah.
This is why. Ready? Yo, next week is probably the biggest week for the Knicks, but because of the Cavs. So the Cavs, I don't know if you guys keeping up. They lost tonight to Detroit, right?
Okay.
And that was without Cade and without Tobias. And they beat them.
Yeah.
The thing is, yo, they got 9 games remaining. 2 of them against the Knicks, right?
Mhm.
2 of them against the Pacers, who was
Mhm.
also hot.
The Pacers
And
are hot.
one of them, right? And one of them against Chicago, right? That's 5 games that they might lose. Like if the Knicks show up, like you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Now, if the Celtics catch them, because the Celtics have like one of the easiest schedules to play: Charlotte, Washington. That's something to watch for, man. Like,
Yeah.
if the Cavs drop to 2, the Knicks, if the Cavs drop to 2,
Okay.
they go into the ECF. But anyway,
Okay.
man, I just want to tell you guys, man, shout out, yo, I saw you guys put up the merch for the artwork.
Yes.
I was like, yo, this is so dope, man. I copped one.
Oh, appreciate
Yeah,
it, man.
man.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah.
So his hot take is pending.
pending. Yeah.
Pending.
A Cavs collapse. You're saying a Cavs collapse becomes a better matchup for the Knicks, and then they get
Right.
to the Eastern. You know what, man?
Listen,
like,
the Cavs are 5-5
Yeah.
in their last 10, and the Celtics are 4 games back in the loss column. Interesting.
Yeah, that's
4 games
what
back
I'm
also.
saying. And yo, if the Knicks show up, if we can just do ourselves a favor and just win those 2 games, I'm telling you guys, man. But anyway, shout out you guys, man. Y'all gonna hit the bed, but yo,
Yeah.
CP, send that resume. Let me know if you ever need anything, man.
Yes, sir. I'll
Take
let your
care.
boy, man. Then the Knicks Fix on the Discord. Listen, man, you know, his theory is his theory, and that is okay. But what I will say is, you know, we got to knock it off with the first round exit talk. I mean, it's getting really bad. I mean, are people watching these games with diapers on? What happened to us as fans? What happened? You know, I'm talking to Trilogy today, and he's saying, like, yeah, the energy's off with the fans are sour and all of this. Like, listen, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But the first round exit stuff is really,
To who, bro?
is really, really getting to me, man.
So who?
It's really getting on
To the Hawks?
The OD
Right.
panic.
If the season ended today, we would be home
Yeah.
against the Milwaukee Bucks.
And smacking them around. Like, Knicks Nation, you got to put your big boy, take the diapers off and put your big boy pants back on.
I'm scared.
Stop the panic. It's disgusting out here, man. My God. These guys lose to the Spurs. Oh, we're not going to make it. Knock it off. I just can't believe what I'm seeing here, bro.
Bro.
It's ridiculous with the doom and gloom already, man.
Yo, the Knicks are 5-0 against the Bucks in their last 5 games against the Bucks.
You want to tell me, and listen, like, I'm not going to get, I'm not going to let this game steer me in any direction, but you want to tell me that this team is going to stand up to the Knicks?
They don't have enough, man.
Not a chance in hell, man.
They don't have enough. Don't have enough.
All this first-round exit talk. I can't believe it.
The Bucks can't beat the Knicks in a 7-game series. No way. And that's crazy. Speaking of that, it's kind of crazy to say that when Giannis is on the other side.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Giannis? Is Giannis a player? Because I think he's headed out. Because I just don't see how this team, if all the reports are accurate, where, you saw what happened with Luka. And I think the Dallas Mavericks making the finals last year actually gave them a lifeline to keep Luka.
Yeah.
But obviously they decided we don't want him. But with Giannis is very interesting because would you sell the farm for a Giannis type player?
No, not right now. But we don't have a farm to sell, first off. We got an apartment right now. We got a condo.
We got a studio.
Yeah, we got the studio. You know what I'm saying? We got a studio on the west side, man. It's probably about $8,000 a month.
He's such an interesting player because as he gets older,
yeah.
What
are you going to have?
I don't know how his game is going to age.
He can't shoot.
He's deferred a lot to Dame Lillard in the last 5 minutes of a basketball game. Can't shoot. You saw tonight, even with his game, like, did you fear him tonight? Like, I didn't fear him tonight.
I mean, that could have been the foot sprain. Like, I felt like it looked like he was kind of coasting a bit. But even still, I don't think you're going to get the same guy who had one of the most, like, legendary NBA Finals performances with the 50 burger and like two-way dominance like he was Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think that guy's still around.
Yeah, like he's putting up numbers, but I'm like, how much of even the Bucks not playing to expectations? They've switched coaches, they've done this. Like, how much is it that maybe he's very good, he's great, he's one of the tops, but is he that guy? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Bondi still thinks he's the best player in the NBA. I don't see it.
Bucket.
Yeah, I don't see it. His game is not going to age well. He give you great defense. You give you great defense, and when he's got a full head of steam, he's automatically scoring. But,
because the thing about it is, you see, to me, when you sell the farm for a player, you have to give me a player that's going to close games. Like, you have to give me the player that is going to be the integral part of what's going to decide a close basketball game. And if I'm not getting that ingredient and I'm selling the farm, then that means I have to look elsewhere to get that ingredient, because to me, when it comes to playoff basketball, which tends to be close range basketball, high leverage games, that is the ingredient that you need. The Jalen Brunsons, the Kyrie Irvings to LeBron James. Like, you need that separate part if you don't already have a Kobe, a Jordan. If you don't have that, you have to look elsewhere to get that last part. And it seems like Giannis, a franchise, is going to have to give everything to get him. You just have to make sure that you have a closer next to him, because it's not going to work out, bro. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work out. The Knicks could be a good match because they have Jalen Brunson.
Right. You need shooters around him.
I don't think Jalen Brunson would be in any Giannis deal.
No. It's cat.
If you're like a Houston Rockets team, you're one of these teams that it's rumored to potentially want him, you better make sure you have the team around him, because you're just going to be acquiring another Milwaukee Bucks team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You need shooters around him, man. But it's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to be there much longer. It's just a matter of when. You know, salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. As the Knicks Fix said on the chat, man, the Once a Knick, Always a Knick merch is available. We have been hinting at this all year long, man. Shout out to the mural that we worked on and collaborated with the artist named Double Double. And yeah, man, it's a mural basically featuring your favorite Knicks, man. If you have a guy he's most likely on there, and we have it in t-shirts, and we also have it in 18 by 24 prints. So you can get them on KnicksFanTV.com, man. They're flying off the shelf right now. So salute to everybody who copped. I'm sending
CP,
them,
where the
sending them
Scullies
across the
tomorrow?
Logo. You say what?
Where the Scullies tomorrow?
Which ones?
The Knicks TV Scullies. Where tomorrow?
Oh, man.
In New York City.
80 degrees in New York City? Nah, nobody.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, not
Bring
tomorrow.
out the KFTV hats.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, absolutely, man. We'll be rocking the KFTV snaps tomorrow. Yeah, 80 degrees tomorrow in the city, man. Yeah, I like that with spring, man. You get a little like summer preview sprinkled in every once in a while here in New York, you know?
It just the beginning of, finally some comfortable, nice weather right before the NFL draft.
Yeah. We get those real nice like global warming, things going on in New York. One day it might be like 50, next minute it might be like 95. You know what I'm saying?
It's the pump fake. Gonna give you an 80 on Saturday. Sunday you're gonna wake up, it's gonna be 42.
A nice little global warming pump fake. So tomorrow's gonna be one of those ones. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. All right, let's get to another call. Then we'll get to key stats of the night. Zach, let's go. Unmute your mic, Zach. Zach on the Discord, are you there? Oh, we don't got Zach.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Got you now. Yep, got you.
You got me.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta say OG came out to play tonight.
Yep. Yes,
that was a big game. All in all, I mean, even though Delon started, which was questionable, he came out to play. So you can't really question that aspect. Tyler, the creator, producing assists. It was a good win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else, man? What else do you think about this game, man?
I like that Mitch, with the 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
He came back. He came back after a lowly expedition against the Clippers. That was a big sign for him.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, there's a lot of positive aspects about this game. I mean, we're most likely going to play them in the playoffs. This is what's going to most likely happen. It's a 3 versus 6 seed. So, I mean, we're looking at a team that has a lot of potential, man, especially without JB right now. And then I see a lot of potential from this team in coming to the playoffs.
Hey, that's what I say, man. That's what I say. I say I'm not. I told Trilogy to this today. I'm not bailing on this team just yet. I am not writing the epitaph on this team just yet. Wait till the captain gets back. You got Deuce ready to get loose. Mitchie, the Clipper game, Mitchie was thinking about his Snapchat joints or something, man. It was just one of those one-off nights. He's going to lock in. Mitchie's going to lock in. Josh Hart is going to lock in. And the dog is on fire. McCall is on fire right now. This is what you want. It may not translate. Sometimes they check out sometimes. That's all right. Now with the playoffs, you have every other game. So we lock in and focus one game at a time. They'll be all right, man.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, based on last game, I said like Delon playing that whole fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Tibbs switched it up. Saw the potential in Kolek, said, okay, let me switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I like I said, I think there's a lot of potential for this team. A lot.
Yeah.
And I think all these haters who are not all 82 don't see what the Knicks have to bring, especially in the playoffs when it slows down. It's a half-court game. Cat will, be in the set. JB has the opportunity to find the open man. That's also, drive to the basket. This is a team set for the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Appreciate the call, man.
Always.
Yeah. There we go. All right, so salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. CP and JD on the ones and twos. Do we have the Dogs post-game press conference? Did you send me any messages, JD? You sent me some on Twitter?
Let's see.
I didn't see. I saw I had 2 messages on the mailbox. I didn't know if you'd sent me one.
Oh, I sent you the Tibbs thing. It was interesting.
Okay.
Funny.
All right. Cool. All right. We'll get to the tips thing. Let's hear from the dog, man. As Zach mentioned, the player of the game, OG Anunoby, met with Mike and Allen, our guys in the 1s and 2s tonight. All right. Here's the dog. Here we go.
A brilliant game. 31 points. OG, we were talking during the course of this telecast that this might be the best offensive stretch of your career. You've been an elite defender for years, but offensively, I don't know if you've played better than the last 15 games. Would you agree with that assessment, and why so?
Probably, I think so, yeah, because I've been getting better and better each game. You know, that's what it's about, growth. You know, just staying positive, looking forward to the next one, always trying to grow and be better every day.
What has worked in the offense? Because it looks like you get a lot of things in the flow of the offense. Is it mainly just keep moving and the ball will find energy?
Yeah, keep moving, being aggressive. When I get it, just be decisive, make an attack, and whatever I do it aggressively.
And you've done it with different point guards in the last week. The top 3 point guards out, and then you have Delon Wright and Tyler Kolek come in. Tell the job that they did tonight.
They've done an amazing job, you know, just taking what's there, you know, being aggressive, trying to set us up, get us in the sets. You know, they've done a phenomenal job, and it's getting better and better each game.
Well done, OG. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was the dog, OG Anunoby. Great game by him, and as he said, just staying aggressive, being aggressive out there. And so, hey, can't knock it, man.
I like him actually agreeing with the assessment of Mike Breen and Alan Hahn in terms of, you know, a lot of players go a little cliche-ish when they put you on the spot. They say, yo, I really think this is the best stretch of your full career. What do you think about that? You know, a lot of players, listen, I'm just playing well.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of players take the high road.
He didn't give it that canned media response. He was like, you know what it is?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And again, that goes along his kind of new wired mindset that I absolutely love right now, where he's just, you know, embracing the additional role. And, hey, he's given a lot of leverage to himself when we've heard rumblings earlier in the season, you know, with the Josh Hart thing and where he felt like, yo, like, you guys need to involve me more in this offense. Hey, if he's going to play like this, I guess I see why.
Yeah. Good points there. All right, let's get to this Tibbs soundbite here. Let's hear what Tibbs had to say in regards to the minutes. This is what you're talking about? Here we go.
What do you guys want? You guys want more minutes, less minutes, medium minutes?
No, I just.
All I know is it's just not the right minutes.
Let's go. Oh, I can't play all that because we get a copyright. But all right, there we go. Shout out to Tibbs. Look at that. He's grinning from ear to ear, man.
That tells you he hears it. He knows it. He's like, I just know it's not the right minute. So y'all tell me which one is it.
It's never enough. But hey, good job by Coach tonight. You know. Shout out to Del Will. $10 Super Chat says Delon equals Alfred 2.0. Hope everybody stays aggressive when the captain returns. To Peyton's credit, he was a way better, he's a way better playmaker than, Peyton came back. It was on the shelf, came back and dropped 20 dimes the other day. So give credit. Like that, Peyton used to get a cracking as a playmaker, but, well, let's see what Wright can do. LD on the Discord, he skipped the Clipper game when the bench was stinking up the joint. But now that the bench actually played well tonight, he comes back.
No. I didn't skip the Clipper game because of the bench.
Yeah.
That was actually a moral victory because if you look at, what we played against two players who are playing their best basketball in a while. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, that is a championship coach, Ty Lue. That actually is a moral victory, and I'm actually glad we were that close in that game.
Okay.
Overall, right? But this call specifically is a Leon Rose, Worldwide West, Knicks front office appreciation call.
Okay.
Because if you can, if there's a mission statement for every call I've made going back years, it is just always focused on the core motto is Leon knows his job. 5 years, 4 playoff appearances. He's never put us in a position where he's not giving us the best roster he can give us at the moment. He always does his job to give us everything that he can to keep us at least competing, or even if we're not competing that one year where we didn't compete, he's at least given us the best that we can. The year that we didn't compete, we at least had, young players that were growing. So he's always done his job, and I give him a lot of respect. And the reason why this call is significant today, somebody said in the chat, JB's injury is a blessing in disguise. Obviously, we don't want anybody injured.
Sure.
But the positive is, because we do have a little bit of a stubborn coach, now folks are seeing that our bench is not as bad as some assumed. I'm not saying that we have the Hall of Fame bench, but this bench is capable of at least filling in when they need to. When everybody's healthy, either Mitch or Josh Hart is coming off the bench. You have Deuce, you have Payne. People can see now Tyler Kolek can at least do what he can do. 30 assists in 70 minutes of play with 1 turnover is insane for a rookie. Preston Chua is not a bum. And when you mix and match, you can get so many different variations from these players. So it's just appreciating the fact that we have a front office that's always known what they've been doing from day one. I remember watching First Take when Steve Stout was on, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
Oh my God, remember that episode?
Exactly. Lord. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, we are screwed again. But everything he said then is proven to be truer than he even stated, So it's just appreciating the fact that we are in this administration with the Knicks. And, as everybody said, right now we can see that we can go as far as we push ourselves as long as, everybody's healthy and coach is strategizing correctly.
Yeah.
We got this, man.
What did you think of Wright tonight in the start?
Look, it just goes back to Leon Rose and his front office. Goes back to what is he, like the 15th player that made the roster, or 16th or 17th, who knows?
Yeah.
Shows up, and does his job. Is he going to do that same job tomorrow or 3 days? Who knows?
Probably not.
But he showed up. Right. But nonetheless, though, at least these days in the NBA, it's hard to have a terrible roster. You may not have, focus to, perform, but there's talent everywhere. So anybody who has an NBA jersey these days is good enough to do something, right? So he showed up, did what he was going to do. I do like how Coach mix and matched himself and Kolek. I'm just glad we're seeing that this roster is capable of competing. It all comes down to those X and O's and making sure that we don't get in our own way. That's the main thing. But, it's as I've said from day one, we're capable, man. I will say, though, I hope, what's his name is okay. Karl Anthony Towns. He was kind of grimacing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been like a bang knee situation because, I'm sitting there like, man, he's got to come out. And he stays in the game. So I'm like, look, I mean, the player will tell you if he can't go, and the medical staff as well. Right. So clearly it wasn't as serious as we expected.
Right. And the same way, we gasp when OG goes up. I ain't gonna lie, when Cat is attacking the rim, I'm like, oh God, he's so unorthodox the way he moves. But just hopefully everybody's okay going into the playoffs. I don't care who we see. Eastern Conference Finals for sure. I do not care who we see. I'm not scared of anybody.
There we go.
Eastern Conference Finals, championship, let's get it. I'll let y'all know.
Okay. LD on the Discord. Rate that call in the chat, man. The Tomato King came back for a crown tonight, man. The Tomato King came back for a crown. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Is the chat going to be fair to LD tonight? Are they going to be fair to LD tonight? He came in, he put Leon Rose as the executive of the year with the worst bench in the league. Shout out to LD. I mean, look. The bench is what it is. You're hoping for consistency. You're hoping for consistency at the right time. I trust Deuce to give me consistency. I trust Mitch to give me consistency on the defensive end and get the offensive boards. It's that 8th guy. Payne, Shamet, are you going to hit shot? Like, if Shamet is this version, he's the guy. The problem is he hasn't been this version in all the games that he's played. That's the problem. He gives you great energy. Every night he brings it. It's every night. Preseason on down. You can't knock that. His defensive effort for his size and all that, fine. You got to knock down jumpers, bro. Especially when you're wide open. Tonight was good. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
That's the thing. He's been a little bit too inconsistent for a player of his experience in the league.
Yeah.
Bench players have the toughest role sometimes because it's like you're a specialist. You're not going to get as much minutes. You have to come in and be effective in your minutes. You have to be effective fast. Where, a starter, you can have a tough first quarter. You're going to come back in a second. You're going to get your minutes in the third. You don't get that as a bench player. So, imagine they gave him the award and that's how they announce it. Leon Rose, GM of the year with the worst bench in the league.
Bench in the league.
That would be it.
That would be
I don't think he's gonna get executive of the year.
Yeah.
But especially listen, man, he's playing better. But I think it's gonna be a topic forever.
Yeah.
With the whole Mikal Bridges trade. I think the Mikal Bridges trade is gonna come down to just what is gonna be the destiny of this window for this franchise.
That's it. 1,000%.
Right? That's what it is.
That's it.
That's what it is.
So to everybody in the chat, once again, man, 1,500 people in here. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're sharing these videos, man. Share it in your group chats. I know you guys are in a group chat somewhere in this social media landscape, whether it's WhatsApp, your text, your Instagram, your Twitter. Somebody out there of the 1,500 people, you guys are in a Knicks fan group chat. Drop the post-game show links in there and let the people know about the number one show for the fans, by the fans. We're going to get to the key stats of the night in a minute, but just along the Leon Rose front and just the whole team building thing, you guys know what I say all the time. This is the hardest path to get to the championship in the way that the Knicks are doing it. This is not the homegrown draft product. They need a lot of luck. However, they're hitting, and we'll see how as you said, what the fate is of this window of these trades. But as I was listening to an interview that Wyc Grousbeck, the former owner of the Celtics, after he sold the team, and he was like, yo, listen, selling the team, yes, it was about the money and the expenses of running a team for sure. However, that whole second apron thing, he was like, yo, the way that impacts you, he was like, yo, I guarantee that no team, you might have maybe 2-3 teams will hit that second apron and stay there over the 5-year period of this CBA. He was like,
you heard
nobody.
Even today, you heard the report. You saw the report today. Mm-hmm. Celtics have decisions to make soon between
Drew and
potentially
KP.
Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
Right.
So when we talk about the Celtics being, a big, yeah.
Right. We had my guy Yossi talked about the Cavs are going to be headed that way next year. Celtics luxury tax bill and payroll is about to hit $500 million for that new owner. Welcome to the league. Welcome to the league. So what Grousbeck was saying was like, yo, you have to have, he said this to verbatim, he's like, you have to have a A1 cap guy. And that's what Leon did in bringing in Brock Aller. And all their moves to make this team and still stay under the first apron, on top of Jalen taking taking the deal early. Some people say it was not less money. Say taking the deal early. All of that factors into it. So we'll just have to see. And just like Trilogy said, James Edwards said, and JD's in the Matrix. Just like James Edwards said on The Athletic, is it possible that the Knicks are kind of, along this run, kind of waiting out the Celtics run, waiting out the Cavs run, and hey, maybe the last man standing is the Knicks with the deepest team in the league over the next 2 years. But all this ties back to what LD is saying. The development of the youth and the draft picks from here on out, from whatever draft picks that the Knicks do have, from Kolek, Dottier's getting busy right now in the G League, which is great. See what McCullers has with a full offseason and summer league. Huck Porty, those guys are going to be very, very important for this Knicks build. Those guys are going to be very important for this Knicks build. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out there. All right, we got JD back in the mix. Let's get to the key stats of the night, man. Brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. Shout out to JD. Let's get to the key stats of the night. Okay, here we go. Man, Bucks shot 54% from the field. I didn't even realize that. Knicks shooting 48 from the field. Decent night from downtown for the Knicks, 36%, and the Bucks shooting 39%. So both teams were shooting fairly well. Free throw line, Bucks 12 of 19. I thought the Knicks were having trouble at the free throw line, but it wasn't that bad. I think it was just 2 Josh Hart missed free throws because OG did go 10 for 10. But overall, the squad goes 14 of 16 from the charity stripe. Bucks 12 for 19. Knicks won the rebounding battle 44 to 32, which was a good sign. Won the assist battle as well, 28 to 24. Steals, 12 steals by the Knicks tonight. 16 Bucks turnovers led to 26 Knicks points. That's how the Knicks need to play basketball. And conversely, they were very careful with the ball. Only 9 Knicks turnovers, which led to 13 Bucks points. Knicks won their fast break battle 22 to 18. Points in the paint battle 44 to 40. Largest lead of the night, 19 for the Knicks and 4 for the Bucks, bro.
For me, key stat of the night for me is going to be, again, as we hit the home stretch, I'm looking at things, areas, stats that are going to be important for the playoffs because that's where the focus is going to shift here soon for this franchise. And I look at the 14 offensive rebounds to the Bucks 3. When you talk about this team giving you an identity that can resemble that of last season, this is why the Mitch Robinson return was very, very, very important for this franchise. And for Mitch Robinson to get 4 of his 10 rebounds on the offensive glass in 18 minutes, for you to get 12 offensive rebounds between Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson, 3 key rotational players. Now, the stat would be a little bit different if you got offensive rebounds from, 2 or 3 from Kolek and 3 or 4 from Precious Achiuwa, players that you don't necessarily believe are going to play a vital role minutes-wise in the playoffs. But for you to get 12 between Cat, Hart, and Mitch in a matchup of a potential first-round matchup, I think it is very, very, very important, and it's my key stat of the night.
Yeah, there you go, man. And the key stats of the night, once again, brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey, we got the Sweet 16 going on right now. Elite 8 setting to start today and Sunday as well. We'll find out who goes to the Final Four. And listen, when it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing is for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected with every upset every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. And if it's your first time here, if it is your first time here, type in hashtag new in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. And for you guys, for you new viewers and new to DraftKings, use our code KFTV. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. And that's with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Restaurant in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Once again, this is for new customers only, and bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Okay. All right, let's get to some more calls here. Let's load up some people. Friday night, or Saturday morning, rather. Knicks win. Let's get some people on the line here. All right, let's start with Parsa V. Parsa V on the Discord.
Yo, hello?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we here, man. Knicks win,
Yeah. So I got a few things to talk about today. But the first thing I need to talk about is the Knicks disrespect, man.
Oh.
The Knicks disrespect.
Talk about it, man.
we are the third team in the East. Like, I understand that we had championship hopes and stuff before the offseason, but But like it's getting out of hand, and it's not just the Knicks as well. Like Jalen Brunson, like I go around like TikTok lives and stuff, and people have Brunson out of the top 15 and stuff, like 15 plays. Like that's kind of crazy to me. But anyway, besides that, like I want to talk about today's game. OG and Mikhail, they played amazing. Like I don't think they did play amazing. Like I loved how OG played. Like he got to the rim at will. Like he was playing like Giannis, and Giannis was playing like OG today. Like he played amazing.
Yes, he did.
And I like how he got 10 free throws as well. Like that was great by OG.
Yeah,
and
super aggressive, man. 10 free throws is incredible for him, man. It's nice. Good number.
10 free throws is incredible. But I do have a question for you guys as well. Like
sure.
I got 2 questions for you guys.
Yeah.
For JD and CP.
Yep.
One question is, like, when Brunson comes back, do you think Mikhail and OG will sustain this type of play? Or, like, do you think they'll fall off a bit?
Well, that's the hope, man. You know, that's the hope. Like, the captain is the captain. And I forgot what I was... Oh, you know what? It was from Tim McMahon's book. It was from Tim McMahon's book on the whole Luka Doncic situation and the Brunson situation. And it was a quote from Brunson basically saying, like, I can get into a rhythm at any time. That's exactly what he said, because the question was like, can you play off of Luka? Can you play with Luka? And Brunson was like, you know, I don't need the ball in my hands. I can get into a rhythm at any time. And I read that quote, and I'm like, yo, like, yes, this is the captain. He does need the ball in his hands, and we need him to be at his best when he does, but he can't forget about these guys. And, and maybe with him coming back slowly and trying to get back into a rhythm from the ankle, just by default, he defers to these guys anyway. You know what I mean? So I think that's the hope, man, to get these guys involved, and then hopefully he can get his when the time is needed.
That is the hope. And also another question for you guys. How confident do you guys feel about the Knicks going to the playoffs? Like, do you guys think they have Eastern Conference Finals hopes?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
Yo, Parsa V, we ain't ducking smoke with nobody, man.
Yeah, we ain't ducking. Hey, I had people saying to me, like, we should fall off to the 4 seed to play Cleveland.
Yo,
I mean, like, that's
listen,
cool and all. We have a better chance against Cleveland. But no, I'm good. I want that Boston. I want Boston.
Yo, Parsa V, man. Anybody hating on us right now, tell them, yo, go watch the Orlando Magic. Go see what Powell on them is doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Go rock with them, man.
Hey, when the playoffs start, people are gonna bring up that 7-0, 9-0, like against Lakers, like Thunder, or like Cavs and stuff. I'm gonna take that to the bank. I don't care about none of those games. Like playoffs, like you said many times before, JD, CP, sorry.
Yeah.
Like the playoffs is a different atmosphere. Like,
Different
it's just
atmosphere,
different. Like,
man.
It is different. And when it comes down to experience, and when it comes down to the last shot, I know that Jason Tatum's great. But we are the ones that have Jalen Brunson in our team. I trust Brunson to take us home. I trust Brunson more than Jason Tatum. I mean, I know what Jason Tatum can do. He's great, but when it comes down to the last shot, when it comes to the playoffs, I want Brunson taking the shots, man.
Let's go. Parsa V, throw some 5s in the chat. Yo, where you from? Where you checking in from again, man? I think I'd ask you.
Checking in from Australia.
Australia. Holding down Knicks Nation in the land down under. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah, I actually last year against the Philly series, like it's like I go to school, like I'm like year 11.
Yeah.
I'm year 11, and I go to school, and it was game 6 against the Philly series, and I had to go to school, man. Like that, I had a test that day, and I went to school. I faked sick. I came back home.
There you go.
Like my mom was pissed at me, but like, you know, I had to see us take us home.
Yeah.
Man. I had to see it take it home. I had to see Brunson drop 40 and 10. You know, that game was important to me, you know? But anyway, go Knicks.
Yeah, man. All you got to do, you know, find you a good shorty down there in Australia. Let her take the test for you, man. We got playoffs coming up, bro.
Yeah,
you know
we do got playoffs coming up. Yeah.
That's my advice to you, man. Call back anytime.
We condone that behavior.
It's 12 o'clock, man. It's KFTV After Dark, man. Your thoughts, like, how does the captain get integrated back into this thing?
I mean, listen, they're what, like 6-5 without him? Whatever it is, like right over, hovering over 500. So at the same time, it's not like we're cooking without him from a record standpoint, right? We definitely get on a very high when they win. And then we get brought down back to earth when we don't. So, and that's just to say how important he is to the whole equation. I think it's gonna be interesting though. It's like we can be cliche and think that everything that we saw tonight is gonna happen with him in the lineup as well, because he also has to get himself going. It's one of those chemistry things about like he, has to pick his spots, but then the other players next to him can't fall asleep. Like Mikal can't just say, "Oh, Brunson's back. I'm chilling now."
Can't turn off.
Whenever you want to give me the ball, I'll take it. I guess I'll shoot that. Like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
You gotta maintain the same attitude. I think OG. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is better, Mikal or OG?
Different players. Different players.
Who would you rather start a franchise with?
I can find another Mikal Bridges. The positional versatility of OG combined with the three-point efficiency. Like, if both guys are healthy, you got to go with OG at the positional, because he can guard literally every position, depending on the matchup. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the whole him and Mikal taking, like, whose guy is it? Is it my turn tonight? Like, I think that's what they're going to have to figure out in the playoffs, because it's
only one ball.
It's only one basketball.
It's only one basketball, bro.
And in the playoffs, it really comes down to that chemistry of, like, does everybody know their role? And I'm telling you, you have to be a well-oiled machine to go up against the Celtics, man. Everyone has to understand their role.
Gotta be.
And I think as you see, when you see series and passing of the torch and the team eclipsing that, that other team, when you see it in history, it always happens because you had a player decide to say, it's my turn, it's my time. And for us to beat the Celtics outside of Brunson, I know the whole conversation with Cat. Will Cat be what he is in the regular season? I don't know. But I think Cat will be good enough, just good enough. It's going to come down to Mikal and OG. Which one of those two is going to have a 20-point series?
Yeah.
Consistently. Which one of those two is going to decide to say, I'm going to be the Indiana Pacers Paul George this series?
Yeah.
I'm going to be that two-way player, and I'm going to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to come down to.
See, to me, it has to be Mikal because...
But you see what you just said right there?
Yes.
OG is the guy you say, and you said we could find another Mikal.
Yeah.
But then now we say Mikal has to be the guy, though. That's the dilemma.
I've always said he can swing things because you can run more plays for him, and he has better shot creation skills than OG. OG can create. OG can knock down those corner threes. He can be standing in the corner and knock it down for you, but he can also generate his own offense by just being a dog defensively. You know what I'm saying? And still get you 15, 16 points just by being a damn beast and a pest. Mikal is the guy now where if Towns is getting bullied and the captain doesn't have the same shift and the same movement, I could still get Mikal going into his mid-range bag, setting those screens, getting him downhill. If he's facing a drop coverage scheme, if Cornet is out there or maybe even Porzingis and maybe Mazzulla's in the drops for some reason, I can get Mikal some looks to get that baseline or that mid-range going. That's why, to me, he's vital for this team's success.
I agree.
OG can make his own offense. He's his own offense. He can do it himself.
I agree. The problem is, CP, how do you tell OG that after the run he's been having?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do you tell OG that?
The dog. Hey, if he's getting to the free throw line like this, I don't have any problem with it.
That's the thing. It's the formula could be through Mikal to get where you want to get to because of the versatility and like you mentioned, you could run a little bit more of a 24-second offense through him. right? OG is more of a give it to him, boom, make your move right now.
Right.
Mikel's more of a, we
late
cross
shot
half
clock.
court, you can give it to him, you can run the offense, you can reset and go back to him on a reset to try again, to run the offense. There's more results, more possibilities with him.
Yeah.
Again, OG seems to be like a little bit of a low-key, quiet alpha. And the way he's been playing, he's agreed tonight in the postgame that this is the best stretch of his career.
Yeah.
How do you tell a guy that just said tonight, this is the best stretch I've had in my career? I'm on my way to a career high in minutes. I'm on my way to a career high in minutes, in games. Like,
time to take a back seat.
I don't know, bro. So now you're gonna tell him to go back to being a fourth, fifth option?
Listen,
that's why. Hey, you're the captain. That's why you're the captain, right? You got to figure all this out.
He's got to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
If you want to keep it real, this is the standard they hold the LeBrons, and this is what they say about those players. You got to figure it out. Yeah, if you want to be a good soldier, then maybe you're a captain in some areas. But if you're the true franchise guy, you got to figure this out.
Got to figure it out. It's a good question, man. It's a very good question, And that's why I believe that when we're talking about playoffs, when we're talking about this team and these guys who are going to be playing the majority of the minutes, we're gonna go down swinging, man.
And quickly, from an OG standpoint, OG is saying to himself, wait, this is Mikel's first playoff run as a Knick. Before I got hurt, I had success already as a Knick.
He had it.
You saw that run last year.
100%.
Mikel, OG was a big part of it.
He was a beast. That's why I said, yo, know that first round, we out first round. Man, I can't believe, man. I just can't believe it. But let me get to the calls, be getting my conductor bag. Sunset, Brooklyn 76. Go ahead, now meet your mic. Sunset, are you there? Ooh, Sunset Park. It was a good movie. Sunset Park going once. Okay. Vader, are you there? Vader 2498. Vader, are you there? Okay, do we have Tone? Tone, are you there? I know Tone's there.
You hear me?
Yeah, man. You know the Discord etiquette, man. You know what's up, man.
Oh man, it brings much joy to my heart riding around these Milwaukee streets.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you out there, man. Were you at the game?
No, I didn't go to the game this time, man.
Okay.
Because I just left work. So, but it brings me joy. All these people are upset here. It's crazy. It's funny. Every time a Milwaukee team loses, they go crazy here.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was a great game, man. Tyler, man, he got potential, man. He got to work on just some counters, because I feel like when they press him a lot, when he bring the ball up the court, so he just got to work on some counters. But other than that, man, he's a pure point guard. Like he got legit. He got it. Next 2-3 years, he gonna be probably 6 man. I'm calling it now. We straight, man. In the playoffs, man, the records is 0-0. So all that we lost to Thunder, Boston, Cleveland, all that's out the window. It's 0-0.
Yeah.
Everybody's 0-0. And that's when we go from there. And we could beat Cleveland. I said that 100 times and say 101. We could beat Cleveland easily. Boston, I'm like, nobody afraid of Boston, man. Boston injured. We don't even know how Tatum gonna look. He dealing with injury now himself.
Yeah.
So we not worrying about Boston. We're not worrying about Milwaukee. Definitely not worrying about the Pacers. So we be straight, man. I'm calling it now. ECF, here we come.
There we go. Tone on the Discord checking in from Milwaukee, man. Shout out to you, man.
Who do you think is the best team after the Knicks?
In
terms of seeding. You got the Pacers right now, the 4th seed.
Oh yeah,
Pistons,
definitely.
5th seed.
Definitely. It's the Pacers. Pacers are looking kind of dangerous right now. In their pacer way. You know what I'm saying? In that annoying, they're annoying type good. Pacers.
You think the Pacers give the Knicks a tougher series than
Yes.
the Pistons?
Yes.
Pistons seems to be the fan favorite.
Yeah. I think that's
the
smoke.
Pistons are the new Orlando Magic.
Yeah, that's smoke. That's smoke. I have no fear in the Pistons other than Isaiah Stewart being dirty and trying to injure somebody. I have no fear in them. It's the Pacers.
Yo, low key though, I would rather play the Pistons in the first round because of Isaiah Stewart.
just getting chemically unhinged.
It's only because of big picture thinking. It's not because of the fan favorite thing. I'm looking at different elements. I'm looking at what could prepare us for adversity? What could prepare us for a tough, rugged Celtics matchup, right? What could prepare us for that? And it's the Pacers, it'll be, okay, you'll bring back the whole Reggie Miller, the rivalry thing, blah, blah, blah. Still fast-paced, finesse. It's a finesse series.
Yep.
Right? You got Halliburton, Siakam, got these lightweights. It's a finesse series. Man, the Bucks seems more like the Knicks have a mental edge over the Bucks now.
Yeah, definitely.
The Pistons, bro, I could see a few ejections in the 7-game series. I could see OG getting at it with someone in the 7-game series. But most of all,
OG and Stewart already caught static in the last matchup.
Most of all, I could see Stewart trying to get at Cat. And when you hear all the conversations, and when I saw how Cat responded to Draymond Green, maybe to get Cat focused, get him Draymond Green focused, maybe we need a 7-game series of Isaiah Stewart going at him. And that could, get him prepped for a next series against the Celtics. Yeah. So I look at it that way. I'm always looking at playoffs with a mental edge, psychological, because the game becomes that. You know that after game 3, 4, you kind of then know what the other team is and what they're going to do.
True.
Right? There gets a point in the series where there's only so much game planning and scouting reports. I mean, the scouting report is not going to change on OG from game 2 to game 3 to game 4. This is his weaknesses. This is his strengths. And let's play off that. So when it comes to that, I would love to see a Detroit Pistons in the first round.
Yeah, I'd see him. I just say don't sleep on the Pacers, man. And when I talk about sleep, hey, right after this, I'm going to get some sleep on my new Bear Mattress. New sponsor alert, Knicks Nation. Shout out to Bear Mattress, man. Go to bearmattress.com. Use our code KFTV for 40% off site-wide. And listen, man, the thing about Bear Mattress that's dope, that's different than a lot of other mattress companies, number one, is that they find the bed that's best for you. You just fill out their evaluation form. You fill it out with your lifestyle, your sleeping patterns, your back sleeper or side sleeper, so on and so forth. And they pair you up with the best mattress for you. And so they got me the Elite Hybrid, and you check it out here. I'm showing it right here on the site. Over 4,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. The thing is a rock star. I get to sleep well because I got little back issues, the night sweats and all of that. But the thing about the bed is it cools you down, and it's very, very comfortable and firm enough to make sure that, those of you with back issues, that you guys are good to go. So make sure you check them out. And there's a lot I like about Bear Mattress. Number one, most importantly, is that if you're not happy with your purchase, you can sleep on it for 120 nights. And if you're not happy with it, you can call them, get a refund, hassle-free. 82% of the customers said that Bear Mattress helped improve their sleep quality, and 95% said that they would recommend Bear Mattress to a friend. So the deal, the 40% off deal, is only for KnicksFanTV customers. So make sure you go to bearmattress.com and use our code at checkout, KFTV, for 40% off site-wide. And the bed's come with 2 pillows too, so if you got a joint coming through, man, you and your joints is good to go, man. So shout out to him. Okay, all right.
You definitely getting at the age with the back problems.
You damn right. Me and my lady both got back problems, man. It's just a sign of the times, A sign of the times, man. So that's just what it is. But the bed is good, man. Bed's been holding it down. Good housekeeping, best bedding award of 2024. Bear Mattress. There you go. All right. Final 2 calls of the night, man. Sunset Park, are you there? Unmute your mic. Sunset Park. Okay. Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Okay. Call back anytime, buddy. All right. Vader. Vader, are you there?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. There you go. Closer. Let's go.
All right, good. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Great.
Good. Yeah, just quick rapid fire. I'm glad. This was a good show tonight, by the way. I'm glad we got a dialogue going just to
appreciate it.
Well, all of this this dialogue that's been fabricated out there. There's really first round exit is insane. It's been, we could say that ad nauseum. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, maybe it's the media that a lot of us are ingesting. That type of rhetoric that no one's acknowledging the playoff experience in this starting five.
There you go.
Mikal Bridges has playoff experience. We've seen Cat has playoff experience. Who knows if it's been consistent? That's up to the eye of the beholder. I felt like he did well in the Dallas, definitely the Nuggets series, and was all right in the Dallas series. Definitely helped out last year with Ant.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we have a lot of playoff experience. And also once JB gets back, as far as everybody going to their proper positions and their proper roles, I feel like he flipped a switch last year in which that Philly series started, and he was an instant 30-point double-double machine. He just knew exactly what to do. So I don't mean to sound like I'm relying on him for everything, but I feel like he puts everybody in their right role, in their right positions, because he is the captain. So, and as you can see in our runs this year, where we've had strings of great games, he's had those high assists with also high point scoring, and maybe not so high point scoring totals, but definitely getting everyone involved in, having good court awareness and taking the temperature of his teammates and knowing what's needed and who he need it from. So that's another thing I feel like that's not being acknowledged, that we shouldn't have to worry about when the playoffs start.
Yeah.
I feel like that switch will flip mentally, and they're gonna lock in, man. I hate to say cliches. They're gonna lock in. This is the Tibbs team. This is the Jalen Brunson team. They're gonna lock in. That's really all I had to say.
Yeah, we gotta lock in, man. We gotta lock in. That's it. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
We gonna be all right. And as you mentioned, man, we got experience, and we just gotta have to see what the captain looks like when he gets back. It's very interesting because each of the last 2 playoffs, he's come into it banged up, the hand, the foot, and he's went on a rocket and started destroying people. Now he's coming in with the ankle refreshed but rusty. Who knows? We're gonna have to see, man, how it all plays out if and when he gets back. Not a if, he is gonna get back, but it's just a matter of if he gets back to close out the season or just to start the postseason. But I wouldn't rush the process, man, because the captain is gonna be vital. But anyway,
who was first to report that, by the way? Just curious.
Yo, and the funny thing is, here's the funny thing. Let's pause the music and get to story time by CP the Franchise, brought to you by Bear Mattress, because I'm going to sleep at this. The funny thing is that when you go on, because people aren't used to this type of information. They're still not used to it. They still feel like we're just YouTube.
I'm sure when Bondi tweeted that out, it felt weird for him to.
He didn't. He didn't. Right? Well, look, and shout out to Steph. He's welcome on the show anytime. You notice that he put, according to a league source, in regards to the Deuce injury, things can change. No, it's not changing. I told you he's going to be missed multiple games. He still ain't back. According to a league source, things can change. AKA that was Bondi writing that himself.
Right.
Just in case.
Just in case. He couldn't believe it, just in case.
and then, with the Brunson thing, okay, so, we put it out. Hey, I read the text, right? Live on the air. You know what I'm saying? Probably out till playoffs. Then Shams comes out 2 weeks. Oh, man, Shams said it's 2 weeks. You know the captain's going to be back in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Okay. All right.
And Cassidy Hubbard on ESPN had her.
Right. That slowly, this
Yeah.
is looking like a playoff thing, right? Now everybody came too. All right. You know, I'm just the conductor, man. That's all. Like I said, if y'all want cold to ice, you know where to go get it. However, as I've said from the beginning, from year 1 to year 8, we share the information that we get. That's it. That's it. We share the information that we get. There's no agenda. There's nothing hidden behind it. We just give you what we get, man. You know? But if y'all want cold ice, by all means, go check with those guys first and make sure it's valid. You know what I'm saying? I don't take offense to it because we know what it is.
Facts.
And we know why it is. It's just the programming. That's all. It's just the programming.
That's a fact.
Yeah. That's that. So I'm gonna go enjoy my 80-degree day tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow, man? You doing anything? What are you doing?
Can't say too much yet.
Okay. Okay. No doubt. Say no more.
I might hit you up with a recommendations. Since last time you were like, yo, if you would have hit me up, I would have sent you somewhere nice.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, let me know.
Definitely gonna hit you up for that.
All right. No doubt, man. Let me read the rest of the super chat. Shout out to Donna Smith. $5 super chat says, we'll beat the Bucks in round 1 so Tibbs can show Rivers he was the real coach of the 08 Celtics champs. Salute. Ryan Manimal, Chuck D, $10 super chat says, I ain't worried. Playoffs will be game-to-game adjustments. OG and Bridges will terrorize on D, taking turns as offense heroes. JB would have been a star even if he averaged 19 with us. It's Tibbs and JB's challenge. Big fact. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. Shout out to Kenya S. $5 super chat says, I see the Knicks at least 6-3 in the remaining 9 games. What is your take on that? Let's talk about it on Knicks Weekly, man. We'll look at the rest of the 9 games left. We'll do that on Monday. So Kenya S., we're going to pencil that for Monday, but we definitely appreciate the super chat. Shout out to Big Mike, $5 super chat says, Bridges and OG need to keep up the aggressiveness. Once JB returns, hashtag Wright look better than Payne, hashtag Kolek look better than Payne, hashtag InstaFix Mitch. Yeah, there it is, man. Salute to the replay gang. Remember that this is also available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. And get your once a Nick, always a Nick merch. KnicksFanTV.com, man. TV the franchise, JD Sports Talk. We out of here. Peace.